Hello, Team Freedom Reigns. Welcome back to another episode of the TFR Motivation Monday Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles.
Hey,
we are going to be your guest presenters because we have a main event speaker tonight that is going to give you some amazing tips on his road to what we used to call Pro 4, which is now MC1, Managing Consultant 1. But we are going to just, before we turn it over to Dr. Ron Nathanson, let me give you a little glimpse into his background.
Well, we've got other stuff first.
I know.
So slow down.
You go ahead then. You take over.
Slow down. So first of all, guys, we've got the reminder, subscribe Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube. We put up the recordings every single week. We want to make sure that you have the resources that you need. This is a tool for you to be able to go to have everything that you need at your fingertips. So all of these recordings will be found there. Plus this week, we've got our amazing Evolve event in New Orleans.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we fly out on Wednesday morning. Not sure when you're all coming, but we pray that every single one of you has safe travels and you arrive safely. And we can't wait to see you all there. That's happening this weekend. They have put up the schedule of events. If you have not seen this, it is on your replicated website. Just go into the events under the Evolve event and you'll be able to see exactly what's going on everywhere. Plus, on the 10th of March, you would have gotten an email from the company if you're registered. And even if you're not, I think you probably got this email. But it's actually giving you some great tips on what to wear to be comfortable. Make sure you've got those comfortable shoes. I know that we're going to be in New Orleans and we're all going to want to be dressed up and just having a lot of fun, but your feet are going to be walking a long ways. We got to take care of our feet, guys. I used to wear those heels everywhere I went, and now you'll see me in tennis shoes because it is that important. If your feet are in pain, you won't be able to focus. And this event is one that will be the most expensive one for you to miss. So you've got to make sure that you are comfortable and you are ready to take in everything that is coming. On Thursday night, the 16th, they've got the sequin soiree for all of us to have a great time. It's going to be kind of like a cocktail party and dancing and all that kind of stuff. They said, bring your glitter, bring your glam. I'm telling you, I'm still wearing my jeans. I got myself a sequin shirt, but I'm going to be comfortable, man. I want to make sure that I can have some fun and be able to just really enjoy this whole event. And that's what I am highly suggesting for every single one of you. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, making sure that you're staying hydrated, getting the rest, because this event, you need to be able to be fully functional and aware for it. There's going to be workshops for each one of us, depending on where we're at and the level of building our business. You're going to be able to pick from those at the event as well. And then, of course, our LifeVantage Legacy Service event. We want to make sure that if you want to participate, you know about it. It's on the 17th, St. Patty's Day. It's from 12 to 2. It's actually on the lunch break in between the sessions. And we're going to be filling up bags for kids that they can take home for them for weekend meals. So please, and also they also put in there this list of things that you can bring with you to donate to this project. So if you want to be part of it, if you want to really see what LifeVantage is about, participating in LifeVantage Legacy is probably one of the best ways to do that. It could change your life, and it definitely changes the lives of the people that we serve. So please participate in that. And then I forgot to put it in here, but guys, if you haven't seen it, Gandhi made a post on the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page about the website that he has completely revamped for you. It's a phenomenal tool, teamfreedomreigns.com. Go there, check it out. It's got a resource page and just a really kind of a one place finding everything type thing, but very simply. So go check that out, teamfreedomreigns.com. So now, babe, now.
All right, now let me I'm sending a message to Cynthia that there isn't any passcode necessary when you use the link. So, okay, so first of all, I want to say something you just said, that this is going to be the most expensive event that you will miss if you miss it.
Yep.
And there are people that will miss it because they're saying it's too expensive, and we get it. The way travel is, the way airfare is, the way hotels is, we get it. I would just tell you this, if you're not there, you will miss out on key information, workshops, breakouts, getting around the environment to be able to use Evolve and implement it in such a way that you have predictable success, rather than wondering, is this going to work for me or is it not? The way to know that is to gain information, because with knowledge comes certainty. So now let's talk about our main event guest speaker, Dr. Ron Nathanson. And I'm going to share with you guys some information that he shared with me but I'm going to add some whipped cream. I'm going to put a cherry on the top, and I'm going to give you some peer-to-peer. He's a chiropractor. I'm also a chiropractor. I just want to give you a little glimpse on the inside of this man's mind, his passion, his purpose, and why he is the sought-out person that he is, and why he has such a following of people that really lean in to the passion and vision and the purpose that this man brings. I mean, just look at that picture. That is like the most awesome picture. So Dr. Ron is a father of 3. He's a chiropractor. He's been in practice for 24 years. He also practices neurofeedback, specifically with the brain, on how the brain is working, and the way he's implemented our products into that capacity, showing what happens when our products alleviate or diminish oxidative stress is incredible. So he also is, and he says here that during the pandemic, he became a performance coach, because if you're just paying attention to anything in science, something that came out today with teenage girls and the impact that it's had with them mentally, it's had an impact across the board. The pandemic has been very destructive, but when Dr. Ron looks at his passion and his purpose for serving people, he can transition and pivot in a very difficult time to take people who want to be helped and help them through, so long as they're coachable. Great efforts there. He said during the pandemic, he studied coaching and has several coaching clients, especially executives and CEOs, business owners, and also now his team of influence that he has with his team in LifeVantage. He's also a seeker and a person who loves making a difference for others, and that is incredibly accurate. I've never really met somebody so, let's just say, dedicated from such a young age. And I will tell you, he's probably been told his whole life he's wise beyond his years, but he's also someone that is willing to take on battles that other people don't want to take on, because it matters, because what he knows is, and he's literally a savior of people. He wants to help as many people as he can, even the ones that don't recognize how to be helped, or maybe don't even want to be helped. He's that committed to his craft and what he does, and he's just got a heart of gold. So guys, please welcome Dr. Ron Nathanson.
Yeah, so Dr. Ron actually showed himself to us recently in being someone that makes a committed decision. So let me go to the right view here. So he made a decision.
It's not a guy walking around in a trench coat. So I didn't know what I got a visual.
Stop it.
You guys are
He
amazing.
did show himself. He showed his heart.
Well, I'm really humbled here, guys. Just that introduction alone, I'm like, who is he talking about? But thank you. It's an honor to be here. And if I can make a difference for just one person on this call tonight, then I did my job. You know, I don't know who's out there listening, but I would love nothing more to know that I impacted you somehow. So I don't know. You asked me how I got here to be a Pro 4.
Yeah, would love. Well, first of all, tell us a little bit more about who you are, your background, and your heart, obviously, for service, but how you came about LifeVantage.
Well, who am I? I'm a chiropractor that got started in my life because both my parents were sick when I was young. I had a father who had a heart attack when he was 41 years of age. I had a mother who had breast cancer when I was 16. And I started looking at life from a place like, that ain't going to be me. All right. That was basically it. There's no way in heaven or hell that I'm going to allow myself to go down the same path my parents did. So, and then it was interesting. I went off to college. I studied neuropsychology. That was my background at Northeastern University. And I was working, I got out of college and said, the last thing in the world I want to do right now is go back to school. I need a break. So I started working for a record company in Manhattan called Jive Records. And I got hit by a car on a bicycle, broke my shoulder, broke my hip, split open my face. And that's when I became a chiropractor. That was the beginning of the shift in my life, where I then had to look at myself laying in a bed. And the first question I asked when I saw my face, and I didn't recognize my face, is, God, what did I do to deserve this? And that was the beginning of a whole shift in my life. And I realized, looking back now, that the most painful moment in my life was also one of the most incredible moments in my life. And so how I came to LifeVantage is a long road, chiropractic school. I never sold supplements and products in my practice. I got into neurofeedback about 12 years ago because of my daughter. And that's a long story that I'm not going to get into, but neurofeedback basically is looking at brains and functions of brain. And one of the things you can see on a brain map, on a QEEG, is called oxidative stress. When we see oxidative stress on a brain map, and then when I came to LifeVantage, and Cynthia Greenewalt, who's one of my favorite people in this company, she showed me Dr. Farron was his name? Dr. The brain mapping. Well, I'm sorry. I deserve to give this man the credit. When she showed me that he was clearing out brain maps, I'm like, wait a minute. That's a whole different animal. But let me get back to how I got to this company. Listen, I've been solicited by this company 3 different times, and I never heard the person tell me anything about this until my friend Sarah Bonacina came to me and said to me, "Hey, Ron, I'm looking at a company." And I said, "Tell me about it." And she's like, "Well, it's a healthcare company." And I said, "Well, is it network marketing?" And she goes, "Yes." And I said, "I'm not interested." She goes, "Well, why not?" And this is a very smart woman. Her listening is amazing. Instead of getting triggered by that, she goes, "Why not?" And I said, "Well, to be honest, most network marketing companies, unfortunately, they all say their product's the best. Ours is the best. Ours is the best," with nothing to back it. And, a lot of good marketing, great web pages and catalogs, and they look great, but not necessarily. And I had been involved with some network marketing before. We had done a company. We had gotten involved with one company that we did go far with, but not to the point where like I could retire from. Then she said to me, "Hey, Ron, I respect you as a doctor. Guys, if you want to get a doctor, stroke them, give them a little love, and tell them how great they are." So she said to me, "Ron, I respect you as a doctor, and I really, really, really respect your opinion. Would you mind reading some articles for me about something that I'm going to send you?" And I said, "Read some articles." And I literally laughed. I'm like thinking to myself, what are you sending me? Like some newspaper article about some sweet old lady whose arthritis went away? That's now all subjective findings. I'm looking for objective findings, not subjective findings. I'm waiting for a catalog. Nope. I open up my email, and there it is. Harvard, Northwestern, American Heart Association, National Institute of Aging, Ohio State. I think there might have been only 5, and LSU. I think the LSU definitely there. National Institute of Aging was there. Whatever it was, I was blown away. I'm like, I called up my friend. Sorry, I go, hold on a second. PubMed, really? Harvard, Northwestern, really? Louisiana State, really? And she's like, yeah. And then that's when I got to meet you, Dondi. Poor Cynthia gets on the call with me and she starts talking to me about like, this is the next Apple. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that crap. I want to hear science. I want to know about what's really there. So Cynthia did what you do in network marketing. If you can't answer a question, you take that person up to the person that can answer the question. And Dondi and you and I had a conversation. And when I got done with you, I was like, okay, I'm in. So persistency, guys, you got to keep following up with people. That's really important. So that's what my friend Sarah did. And I wouldn't, and it was because of my listening of Sarah and her listening to me that created that. If you think you're not going to get somebody, you're right. If you think that, whatever's in your listening, you're going to create that person. So it's really important that when you're calling somebody up, that you not only love them, but you want to spend the rest of your time in your life with them to build a business together. I think that's really an exciting thing to do. Ooh, you're muted there. You're muted. I know I want to hear the questions before I answer.
So good. So, you said so much in there about, first of all, persistence is so important. Stroking doctors is so important too, with their egos, right? A little bit. Sure. But on top of that, it's like, you've been in the company for how long?
Just a year.
Okay. So only a year.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't really play. When I got into the company, it took me about a month and a half to get over the shell shock of what was in that box, to even think about trying to go out and talk to people about it.
Right. And once you got through that shell shock, did you like just jump right in and go running and having great success? Or was there some frustration there?
Well, there's always going to be frustration. But I think what happened was, for me, I started seeing a bigger purpose of this. Like, I understand oxidative stress. I understand that oxidative stress affects people's brains. So then I started learning about oxidative stress affects every system of our body, heart attacks, cancer. I mean, I'm not allowed to say we cure this stuff, but hey, we are allowed to say oxidative stress is connected to all of this. And so what I do is I was going to my first building depth, and I had gotten to Pro 3. And, Brandon Cunningham had said, yeah, you can get to Pro 3 by yourself, which I did because I was excited about it. And I was, and I was like saying to myself, I'm playing also, I'm seeing the big idea here. The big idea is I want off the wheel of time for money. I want to have freedom. I've given up my life. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with my kids. They're all adults now. They're all moving out. And I don't want to lose out on my grandkids to be still working till the end of my life. I just don't want to do it. It's time to enjoy myself. And so I went to building depth out in Utah. And it was interesting. My experience out there to get there was crazy. I had a 13-hour flight. And then when I landed in Vegas, the airport was shut down. I couldn't get my car. So I'm sitting in the airport waiting for a car. And as I'm driving up to building depth, and it's going to start at, I think it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm driving from Vegas, that Phil Collins song came on in the air tonight. And it was like, if I was drowning, would you be there? Like, I remember you drowning, right? So, and it hit me like oxidative stress is like drowning. Like people are drowning in front of me and they're dying in front of me because of this thing called oxidative stress. And am I afraid to tell them about it? And the answer is no, I'm not, because I realized if someone was drowning in front of me, I would throw a life preserver at them. I wouldn't care what you thought of me. I'd be like, I'm going to hit you in the head. I don't care. If I broke your nose, I don't care. I saved you. So that became like a mantra for me to say to myself every time I pick up the phone, I'm going to have a conversation today to try to save someone's life. And what came to me, and Cynthia taught this to me really well, and my upline is amazing. I love the people in my upline, but she shared with me, you got 3 options. They're going to be a distributor, they're going to be a customer, or they're going to be somebody who can be a cheerleader for you to lead you to the next person. So when I heard that, it became a different game. So yeah, I've had my kicks in the teeth and been knocked around. This is persistency. You got to thicken your skin if you want to save people's lives. It's like, because it's real easy to quit. Everything in life's easy to do. And if you don't see a big vision for yourself, if you don't have your why to why you're doing this, and it's not impossibility for you every day, it's easy to quit. But I have my why. I saw after 9/11, my business got shut down. After the housing market crashed in New York, my business got knocked down. I broke my clavicle in 2013. I didn't work for 6 weeks. Business got knocked down. Bills got backed up. I got in trouble with money. Same thing happened in the COVID situation. And I said to myself, no more. I am never going to be on this time for money thing. I'm going to figure my way out of this. And that's my why. Freedom. Like the Shawshank Redemption, the guy spent 24 years in jail. I'm in practice 24 years, right? What's his name? Dufresne. So Andy Dufresne, I got to get through that tube to get to the other side. I'm going to climb through that tube, and I'm going to do it every day by making phone calls. It's a hell of a lot safer than the movie. I don't know if you know the movie, but he had to climb through 300 yards of sewage. I'm not going through sewage, but I'm willing to grow every day for this business. Jason Kenzie once said, this is a transformational program with a paycheck. Well, every day I look at myself and say, what can I do to improve my game? And it's a game. What can I do? Who am I going to be today? Who am I going to show up as? Who am I serving today? Who am I loving today? Who am I giving myself to help them see a bigger light for themselves? And, I do affirmations every day, Marcy. And one of my affirmations is I'm building a business that's for health, wealth, and everlasting friendships. And that's how I go into my calls. Like, you're going to be my friend for life. We're going to create a relationship for life. So when I was out in Utah, I went snowboarding with Chris Smith. I hope he's listening. And he started sharing me an idea of a future. Like, we're going to snowboard for the rest of our lives. And I'm like, hell yeah. I want to have friendships with people that are building their lives, changing people's worlds. They say, you are described by the 5 people you hang out with the most. Well, I want to hang out with really successful people, and I want to make a difference in the world. We're only here a short time. And at your eulogy, I don't want someone to say you sat there and watched Maury Povich or whatever TV shows I sat in front of the TV for. I want to be known for making a difference in the world. I think that's the greatest gift God could give someone.
Wow, that's amazing.
Seriously.
And as you're talking there, the passion that is just oozing from you, oozing in a good way, by the way, oozing from you. And yet you sound like a everyday person that just has something that you are so excited about. And what I really want to get across to everybody that's listening and is going to be watching this is that, Dr. Ron is you. Dr. Ron is just like every single one of us. He's had those bumps and bruises. He's been knocked down 6 times, but he got up the 7th time, right? Yeah. And so I just want people to understand that you didn't hit this goal because you're a doctor. You hit this goal.
As a matter of fact, Marcy, being a doctor, exactly what you're saying is, because you're a doctor, or you could do this business. I can't do this business. I've heard that many, many times. And so one of the beautiful things that go back to Brandon Cunningham's last Life Vantage Academy, he said, hey, if you're going to get to Pro 4, you got to use your team. You got to start using your team. So I started talking to people. So Chris Smith would go out and talk to my friends who are in construction, or Dan Mollering would talk to that, and then I find the people that fit the right person. Cynthia talked to one of my friends who owns a hair salon. I never thought he was going to be a part of this. And he jumped in. Cynthia talked to a friend of mine who's a healthcare practitioner in Florida, and she wasn't hearing me anymore. So it really comes down to, if I could give you a real good secret, guys, people have been listening to you for a long time. And no matter what you're saying to them, they're not hearing you. They hear you the way you've always been. So the best thing you can do is go get somebody else in your upline and have a 3-way call and shut up. Simple. And that's what I've done. I've learned to shut up. I'm talking a lot now, but I've learned to shut up on those calls because I have to trust my team. And if I don't trust my team, I'm going nowhere. And this is a team game, right? This is not a Dr. Ron game. I can't do it without my upline. And I love getting on the calls for my downline and being that person for them, because to them, they believe in me. And so they talk me up. I talk up my upline. Like, this is someone I really respect. She went to Wharton. She's, this is Cynthia Greenwald. She's got a New York Times bestseller book. But then I talk about Chris, all the people in my line, but with love. And I have a lot of love for the people above me because they've loved on me. And I think you want to get what opens doors, guys. The biggest thing you can do is, before you get on a call, center yourself in your heart and just think, how can I change this person? Get out of your head and get in your heart. And if you can get in your heart, they're going to feel your love all over the place. And before I came on this call, I was listening to music that gets me in my heart so I could hopefully connect to yours. And it's really an intention. It's not a script. I don't have a script, but it really is intention of like, how do I love on this person? How do I help them? I do believe right now in the world of healthcare, we're at war. And if you don't get that, well, you better wake up, because you're going to get something really far worse if you don't. And that is, you're going to be a victim of circumstances, and you're not taking your health seriously. Our company is amazing. If you haven't figured that out, I'm a doctor. I'll tell you, it's amazing. Everything that I've ever needed to help my patients is with LifeVantage. Gut health, I use collagen. Brain health, NRF2, NRF1, NAD. That's also the whole body, right? But what about the sleep? That's so powerful how important the sleep product is that we have now. People don't get that a lot of the mental function things in our brain is due to lack of sleep. So now if I'm getting an hour and a half more sleep a night, that's huge. And that's what's happening for me. So every one of our products, it's kind of like, what was that movie called? Robots, back in 2006, 2007. It says, find a need, fill a need. Well, that's what this company's about. So I don't have to worry about the products. The products are amazing. What I have to worry about when I go out and talk to people is, can I connect to their why? And can I get them to believe in themselves, to see something? I'm giving them an opportunity of a lifetime. This is Apple Corporation. I'm in Steve Jobs' garage, and the shares are $3 a share. But hold on, guys. Sooner or later, it's going to explode. Would you be upset with me if I didn't tell you about Apple Corporation at $3 a share? Well, here's today's Apple. It's called LifeVantage. And that's how I look at it.
Wow. Wow, that is so profound, Dr. Ron. And it's listening to you speak. And one of the things that I experienced in the beginning is the misconception that people would say, oh, of course you can do this because you're a doctor. I don't know what your experience has been, but I found that it's actually harder to do it as a doctor, because one, people believe you in another way, but this is not how they normally see you, especially when it's outside of what you typically do. And then people have that misconception you have to be a doctor. I actually went through a phase where I didn't tell people I was a doctor anymore, because there wasn't that I was better than them, or they were perceiving that. I could actually meet them where they are. And it actually was the most successful time in my life in LifeVantage is when I was not representing myself as a doctor. Now it's kind of shifted in being upline and doing 3-way calls as a doctor. I can now be kind of a key role player. But something you're saying in your heart and your passion and your desire to help people is coming through so loudly. You mentioned NRF2, you mentioned oxidative stress, you mentioned people aren't getting sleep. We have a new product line, our Rise AM and our Reset PM. One of the things that people do is they are reactive. It's one of the things that people wait for something to go wrong traditionally. And then when they do, they go to their doctor, but they're being reactive. Most people are not proactive. Mm-hmm. If you look at why people go to doctors, They're going to be related to something as it relates to lack of energy, lack of sleep that may be relating to that, or improper cellular communication or oxidative stress. Our Tri-Synergizer handles all of that. The other is nagging aches and pains. Our collagen deals directly with that. And then gut health. And as far as eating or absorbing and becoming what you eat, they say you are what you eat. Well, that's only if your body can absorb what you're eating. We have the remedy for all of those things. And I came across a quote, I was getting ready for this. And I think it's perfect for you because every one of those little things I mentioned is a little thing if you look at it in isolation. But the way you've masterfully done it is you know somebody in all of those categories. And this is the quote that I found. It says, if you're too big to do the small things, make an invitation, ask somebody where they're at, where their pain is, sending them some information. It says, if you're too small or if you're too big to do the small things, you're too small to do the big things. And when you do the small things, making a reach out, inviting somebody to a call, sending people some information, it's a small thing, but it will lead to a very, very big thing. Like you said, Jason Kokenzie, transformational process. So Dr. I am so incredibly blessed and honored to be on your team of support, because when people see things the way you see things and they have the heart to serve the way you have the heart to serve, miracles are literally happening every day in your sphere, and they will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the excitement, the enthusiasm, the passion, and the leaning in that you are creating is just going to create ripple effects, my friend. So thank you for what you are doing for humanity, one small thing at a time.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, we're not done yet. Go for it.
Okay, cool. So like when I make calls, I don't go out like it's a business opportunity. I actually call my friends to listen to them. And I listen to like 4 or 5 things I really want to hear from them. How much they hate their job, how much whatever's going on in their life sucks. I'm listening for their pains and their aches in their body. And then I go, wow, it's amazing. We haven't spoken in a long time. And then I segue into how LifeVantage could fill that void, right? So I'm listening because the real truth is communication is the whole key to this game. And the better you listen, the more information you're going to get from the people you're going to be talking to, and the more lives you're going to save. And if you start to think of it like that, I have to listen to save your life. People don't want to be saved. So let's just start up with that right now. If I called up and said, you got this problem, I got this fix for you, that's not going to work. But what I would say works for me, and what I've experienced, is I just listen and go, wow, it's interesting. I'm calling you tonight because I got involved with the company and what we do, and I share with them what we do, but I don't say you need it. I say, hey, if you want more information, I could really help you with this situation if you're serious about it. And if you're not serious about it, call me when you do. But I've caught up with so many old friends now that this has become the fun part of it. Like if I were afraid to make these phone calls, I would want to change the way I think and say to myself, okay, why do I want to talk to this person? What is it about them that I love? And if I can think about what I love about them, well, that's the first thing I'm going to say. Hey, I haven't spoken to you in a long time. I really miss the times when we used to do this and that, or whatever it is that you have relatedness to them, to get in their world, because that's the door opener. If you come off the call with straight, hey, I'm calling you, I got a business opportunity for you. A lot of people, unless they're really business oriented people, are going to go, thank you. And then there are people that do that. And there are people that are very successful that I don't find success that way. I really have to open my heart to them. Again, I breathe in here and I connect to them from here. I'm not a cerebral person. And that's where I think my success has been, is just about caring and loving for people as if they mean something, because they do.
Yeah, that is so important. It's the relationship aspect of this business, right? Caring first, because people don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Right,
I mean, we've heard that from so many people, from stage as well as in books. So LifeVantage put out the promotion Run to Pro 4. And when we decided to ask a bunch of people if they wanted to participate in this run, you were like, yes, I am in. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so when you made that decision, what mindset shift did you have? And what are some key things that you put in play to accomplish, not only accomplishing Pro 4, but maintaining it for the second qualifying month? What were those things that you did? Because this is what people need to know, is because they all want to run, right? At this event, we're going to have a new incentive trip announced. How many people are going to want to run for that, right? And what you're going to share right now is going to help.
Okay. Well, the first thing I did, and I did have some setbacks, guys. I didn't, get to Pro 4 on the first month or the second month, but I really started to use my team. It was that, as I said before, if you're not using your upline, you have an asset in your hand and you're not going to get there without that asset. It's a team game. You could be Michael Jordan all you want, but Michael Jordan needed Scottie Pippen. He needed Kerr on the outside. He needed Dennis Rodman. He needed a team around him. I'm not Michael Jordan, by the way. I'm just trying to say that no matter how good you are, you're going to need people around you to support you. No man is an island. No woman's an island. You got to have teamwork. Teamwork makes it work, right? So I really made a declaration. I'm going to be a Pro 4. I'm going to be a Pro 4 before this thing is over. And I speak to my upline every day. Why? Because we feed each other. We both grow. We all grow together. When we grow together, we become stronger in our support of one another. So when you make a proclamation, when you say, I'm going to do this, if you don't keep it in existence, it will fail. It will die. It will die on the vine. You have to keep tending the garden. You got to pull the weeds out. You got to keep doing. So what did I do? Cynthia came to my office. She said to me, hey, Ron, who you would, what's Taproot? Let's look at the people in your life that you would. We picked up like 7 or 8 names. Of those 8 people, 7 of them are clients or are distributors now. Okay. So 3 became distributors and 4 out of the 8 became customers. So I got a person in Ireland because of that day. So it really became about intention. It is that if you don't have intention to get there, you're not going to get there. If you don't put a plan down, if you don't sit there and say, I'm going to be committed to making X amount of calls every day, X amount of presentations a week, a month. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to do it. You got to do what you say you're going to do. So if you say you're going to do it, right? You got to be with integrity. Your word is the most important thing. If you don't have integrity, you're going to find out your business is not going to grow. You got to promote, go to events, go to live events. I got to tell you, honestly, live events are what also every time I've ever had people come to a live event, they become distributors. And they might not be great distributors, but they buy that elite pack and they're there and they're still customers. So, and the more I've gone to these, I've driven up to New Hampshire from New York. I've gone down to New Jersey. I'll go wherever I can go. Why? Because 1, I grow every time I go there. 2, I bring people, they become distributors. I've never been to an event yet where I brought a guest that didn't become a distributor. That's truth. I've been to 4 or 5 events due to COVID, right? Of those 4 or 5 events, I've had a distributor each time I'm gone. So yeah, that's go to events, right? And promote. And what am I missing of the core 5? But that's it, guys. It's simple. And listen to the people above you because they know. They didn't get there because they got lucky with one person in their downline. It doesn't work that way. So learn, be open to learning every opportunity you can because every day is an opportunity to grow if you choose to. But if you choose to watch TV or stay on your phone or do that, you'll get good at watching TV or developing yourself on your phone if you're playing a game. So really, whatever you invest your time in, you're going to produce. So go produce your time in building your life now so that you don't have to worry about it later. Yeah, I like I said, I have some amazing people around me, and this company produces amazing people. I don't know what it is, but my first time at my first event, I felt at home, and I didn't know any of these people except for little boxes on the TV, and they hugged me and they let me know I was part of the family, and I belonged. And I think everybody belongs in this company, and there's not a person here that couldn't fit in somehow, some way. We're all freedom fighters. We're all believing in something bigger. We're believing in health as an expression of health for activating your body, right? Activating is something that your body innately does, that God gave you this birthright. You're working on the right side of that war, guys. When I started to talk about it, but we're in a healthcare crisis right now. We don't have a healthcare system. So if your purpose here in life is to make a difference for people, and you can help people's quality of life by offering them something that's going to change their life. You don't even have to make the product. You just got to make the connection. Well, wow. What happens then? By a domino effect, you're affecting the world. And when this thing hits critical mass, and we're right on the precipice of this thing, I really do believe that we're about to see a wave slam the beach. And when that wave hits the beach, I hope you got your surfboard. I hope you're ready to ride because, guys, it's going to be a party. I've gotten to meet some of the people at the top of this company because I stand out. And because I'm vocal, and they're telling me they're excited again for the first time in 14 years about this company again, like they're being reborn into the business. Why? Because the company is about to take off. And so what a great time to be involved. Like, who would want to be in a company after it's been here 50 years, right? There's no momentum. There's no excitement. It's just growth 5% a year. This is going to explode. This is when the 80% of the business is going to go. We're going to go from $250 million to $6 billion a year company. I'm in. Excitement.
Us
That's
too.
so good.
Yes. High five on that. So good.
High five. Very
Woo!
nice.
Yeah. Awesome. So any final words that you want to share, or any other questions you have for Dr. Ron?
Just one thing is that when Dr. Ron, you were saying something very perceptive, and then I think our company and our products just tend to attract a certain kind of person. And that is somebody who loves people, loves humanity, and just loves making a difference. So I think we just attract that kind of vibe and that kind of person. But I saw a quote a couple of days ago, and actually I loved it so much, I put it on the front page of the Team Freedom Reign's new website. But it says this, it's from a lady, her name is Margaret Mead. She said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." And so no matter how big our organizations are, we are still dealing with a population of 8+ billion human beings. So it's still small in relative, in relative terms. So
we also got horses and dogs too, Dondi. We got horses and dogs. Exactly. We got everything here. It's interesting. We're both chiropractors. So close to what your quote was is another quote that I love called, "We never know how far reaching what we think, say, or do today can affect the countless lives of millions tomorrow. It's better to light one candle and curse the darkness." That's Dr. B.J. Palmer, who developed, he was the developer of chiropractic. That's how I live my life. And, we talked about being a doctor, why you think being a doctor would be easy for me. Let me tell you, no one wants to follow a doctor. But what makes it easy for me is to have passion. And if you have passion, if you have love for humanity, if you're a churchgoer and you believe in God, if you're a person that goes to synagogue and you believe in God, I don't care what your denomination is or what you believe in, but if you believe in a higher power, then you believe that this product was given to you as a gift and you were chosen to do this, not you chose it. Don't even think for a second that you chose LifeVantage. It chose you. And the reason is there's a battle going on in this world, and we have the people who are going to bring light to the darkness. And I really do believe that. That's conviction. If you can get to that space, you could be a garbage man and you could sell this business. You could be someone that puts nails in roofs and you could sell this business, because it is the commitment to humanity that's going to make a difference. Listen, some of the people in this company that are really, really large are not doctors. You and I might be doctors, Dondi, but there are people here that had lawn care services. There are people here that were cattle ranchers. There are people here that own tow truck companies. There are people here that, I've met everybody in this company. At least I've met a lot in the Building Death Organ group. And I'll say this much. It doesn't take a degree to get you to be here. It takes passion. It takes looking at yourself, and it takes about what are you committed to every day, and why do you do what you do? If you're doing it for money, I promise you'll get bored fast. I've made money. It doesn't get me lit up. What gets me lit up is knowing that I made a difference for someone's life. And it's always been that way for me. So if it's something that's new for you, try it on. It's the best way to live your life. To be a servant for others. It's like, then your life's got purpose, and then when you end it and you squeeze the end of your last days out of you, and you know that you made a difference in people's lives, you'll have been fulfilled. I think that's really something powerful to look at. And I definitely do know there is an end of the rainbow here. There is an end of my life coming sooner or later. I'm not trying to get depressing here, guys, but I'm going to enjoy every day as best quality of my life as I can. And these products do that. I go to the gym with my 23-year-old son. He kicks the pants out of me. But today I wake up and I'm walking into the kitchen and he goes, "Man, am I sore?" And I'm like, "I'm not that sore." And I'm like, "Well, did you take your Protandim?" That's it. So it's, I'm 54, going to be 55, and I'm in the gym lifting with a kid that's 23, and he's not lifting much heavier than me. So guys, you can build this body of yours any way you want. Our products are there to enhance us, to give our God-given intelligence in our body a chance to fight and be stronger, more powerful, even more better looking. Your skin looks better. Your hair looks better. Yes, I'm growing my hair out because of the NRF2 products. My hair used to get so frizzy. Now I'm like, the first time I ever had long hair. Why not? Right. So, Marcy had said something to me before I came on about, Ron, you got crazy hair. I'm like, not crazy hair. You got great hair is what she said. And of course, that's my listening. I got crazy hair. But no, it's like, this is freedom, guys. This company gives you freedom. I'm not living off the company yet. Like I'm slowly getting there, but I'm committed to put my time in to make it happen and make a commitment to yourself. Make a commitment to yourselves, guys. Like this is your life. And at the end of it, you're going to look at what you did do and what you didn't do. And I hope you did everything you could to build this life here with us, because you're changing lives, you're getting compensated for it, and you're going to get freedom. What else do you want?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So good. So good.
So the last couple of days I've spent listening to Tim Tebow's book, This Is the Day.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a phenomenal book. I mean, if you know who he is and what he stands for, then you know what this book's going to be about. But he talks about a girl that went through his program where her message was YODO, not YOLO, but YODO. You only die once.
Right.
She did die. She had horrific diseases, but her motto was that you only die once. So you should live every single moment to the fullest. You should live. It's not you only live once. You should be living every single moment with the passion that you shared with us here tonight, Dr. Ron. That's the passion that every single one of us needs to live every moment with. And with that passion, we will be able to draw people to us, because energy attracts energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, everything that you shared tonight was perfect. And by the way, your message about using your team, guess what we did tonight? Because, you can't be a prophet in your own town, but you can bring on phenomenal team members that are doing great things, and people will hear maybe something that we've actually said over and over and over again to them, but they'll hear it through your voice and through your passion, and it will connect. And so it's so powerful, because that third-party validation goes both directions. So
Sure.
Thank you so much for the message that you had tonight. Do you have any final words, or do you have?
Well, I just want to go right back to the Shawshank Redemption. One of my favorite quotes is, you get busy living or get busy dying. And, guys, it's your life. This is it, right? This is the greatest gift you've been given, is your life. Now, can you make your life make a difference for others? And if you can, go out and do it, right? And if you can't, go get help and have other people in your team do it for you. This is not a game about knowing it all. Being a doctor is actually a curse on some level. I can go call Cynthia up and say, Cynthia, please help me. I need a call today. Chris Smith, Dan Mullering, Sarah Smith. Sarah Smith's an angel. Like, I can call her anytime, and I guarantee they're going to be there. I've called Dondi. We've gone on calls together, So it's like, use the people who build you. We are not one, we are eight. We are one. We are one group, and we are many individuals in that group, but you're never alone when you reach out to other people. And everybody wants everybody's dreams to build here. No one's going to just win for themselves. No one wins when it's just you, right? When you just win, there's no fun in that. When everybody wins, that's power. That's power. And it's like a contribution, and it changes things. It changes consciousness in people. It becomes a us, not a me. Right. And I think of us, it becomes, now I got to not worry about people, but I get excited about
Right.
Get to share lives. I develop new friends. I develop new relationships. I develop me, because we all feed each other. We're all pouring into one another, and no cup. I want to fill everybody's cup while my cup gets filled. And so, if I could offer you one thing, it's go out and do it. Don't be afraid. Fear is just yourself getting energy to get excited about something. Get over your fear, because people are dying. Don't be afraid to throw the life preserver. Go save somebody. Go make a difference for somebody. Love on somebody. You never know how far reaching what you think, say, or do today is going to change someone's life tomorrow. Just do it. And what's the worst thing that can happen? You failed? Get up and do it again. What did Rocky say? It's not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you get. It's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit, and you get back up, and you keep getting back up. Well, sooner or later, you're going to get good at this. Sooner or later, you're going to get more developed in this, and you're going to keep getting this to the point where, if your conviction's bigger than your fears, your dreams will come true. But if your conviction is smaller than your fears, you're going to sit back and you're going to be small. And I'm not trying to put you down. If you choose to do that, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you could see something here for yourself, that you can say to yourself, you know what? My fears are not going to control my life. I'm going to get them out of the way. I'm going to go to that trip in Croatia or wherever the next trip is. You will be there and I'll be there with you. I can't wait to see you there because you know what? I didn't do this to play small. I did this to change my life. And if that means turning myself inside out, if it means looking at all my flaws and trying to work on them, I'm going to do it. I only got one life to live. I don't want to come back 1,000 times and do the same thing over and over again. I want to make this one work.
Amen.
Woo! Well, it's an honor, you know, Gandhi and Marcy, it's an honor to be here. Like, you know, like I said, we don't know what we say to kind of impact someone's lives. And if you see me at convention and I touched you on any way, tell me. I'd love to give you a hug and take a photograph with you. I'm no different than you. I'm just a little bit touched in the head. I just really believe in, like, I'm here for a reason. It didn't happen by mistake. And I believe every one of us has a purpose. And if you believe in your purpose, find your purpose. If you haven't found it, join this one. This is a great purpose to live for. You know, change people's lives, help them live, help them express themselves to their fullest, such that we have a better world. And a better world means healthier people, not dependent on drugs, not to be slaves to some system that doesn't work for them. It's an actual empowerment. This whole thing is an empowerment game, man. It's a transformational program with a paycheck.
Amen.
Yes, so good. Dr. Ron, you have over-delivered, my friend. Thank you so much for, one, always being willing to step up and share your passion, your purpose, and your heart with everybody. And two, for always over-delivering, my friend. You are just a gem.
Thank you, guys. It's an honor and privilege to be here. And I love the opportunity. And anytime you want me to come back, just call me. I'll be happy to come.
Awesome.
Count
Well,
on
we're
it.
excited to be locking arms with you and changing the world. And we know there's so many other people on this team that have the exact same vision and passion. And so it's going to happen. It is happening. So thank you so much, Dr. Ron, and God bless everybody. Thank you for being here. We can't wait to see those of you that will be in New Orleans this week. Safe travels, and let's make sure that we connect while we're there. We love you guys.
Bye-bye, guys.
Take care, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you very much again.
Thanks, Dr. Ron.
Thanks. Great job.
Bye-bye.